Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this Thursday's live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. This week we are not doing the witchcraft game. And why? Why are we not playing the witchcraft game? Because it's nearly Christmas and I need to do some stuff. So I figured let's do our stuff together. So I've been having the most fun hunting down some really simple and fast Christmas decorations. I've been adding little twists of my own to some of them because, me and patterns, meh. Sometimes I don't want to do it how they've done it. Is anyone else in the chat like that? Sometimes you see something and you're like, that's really cool, except I would do it this other way. So, yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that. So, let me know in the chat. Are you making any Christmas craft? Are you making gifts or decorations or something like that? I'm leaning more towards the decorations than the gifts. In saying that some of the decorations will be gifts, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, but one thing I wanted to talk about before I sort of dug in was Kelly in here in the chat. Well, for a start, both Kelly and Sally are December Christmas birthday babies. So and Deb, she's around. I don't know if she's here. Um, December babies. So everyone in the chat needs to jump in and say happy birthday, emoji cakes, all that sort of stuff for Kelly and for Sally and for Deb if she's around as well. And Shivsy, if she's here too, I know she's a December baby. And for those of you that are December babies and I didn't know it, I'm sorry, but happy birthday to you as well. So I would love to see that going on in the chat. And then the other thing is Kelly opened my eyes to something. Thanks, Kelly. She was like, oh, I'm going to be saving all of the parts of this cowl that's happening. But I'm not going to do it yet. And so I'm like, what cowl? What cowl is happening? What cowl is happening? And so I followed the link and it was an Anna and Carlos Christmas stocking cowl. Now, I know they do normally run cowls each Christmas and do stuff, but I've never done one before. And it wasn't even really on my radar. And so I went and had a look. And so now I am doing the stocking cowl. Let me just pull my extra needle out. I am working through it. Now, color work is not my friend. I'm getting better at it, but I probably wouldn't. I'm really glad this is a stocking for decoration and not for wearing. I mean, I'm doing my floats good, I think, mostly. I'm not letting them hang out there. They're shallow, small floats. But yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun. I've still got to do today's. I had to fight with myself to not do today's before the live stream. I'm like, no, Chantel, this afternoon you'll need to sit down and chill a little bit because the live streams really take your energy out. Because it's what happens. I sit here and watch technology and craft and my brain just needs a little like one task at a time, please. So I'm like, I'm going to save this, but I've already downloaded the pattern. I've got today's pattern. So I'm really enjoying it. Now I'm working mine in some yarn I happen to have ordered. I ordered myself this big pack of Christmassy colors from the Australian wool store. So, I mean, the white's very, very blown out because of my light's quite close. But I've got a gorgeous, I think it's the ruby red. Let me look here. Yes, the ruby red. And what is officially called green. It's officially green. So I have these three colors that I'm working on at the moment, which I am loving. I grabbed a selection. So I have some others here, which I'll show you as well. I just grabbed her 100% Australian wool because these are only like $7 a ball, right? And they are working up perfectly, like with this color work. They're just the perfect amount of grippy and just, I highly recommend that you go and check out the Australian Wool Store. If I had thought about it, I probably would have put a link in my description. But if one of the mods can throw a link in, and if you say that Fiberific sent you, I don't know if this is still the case, but if you tell her that I sent you, she will put in a stitch marker, a free stitch marker for you. Now, I probably should double check this. So if you don't get one, don't get angry. But if you don't put it in, she'll never know. And there's zero chance of you getting a free stitch marker. I got a free little, I'm calling it a Christmas stocking, but apparently it's a sock. Hang on. So where did I just, oh no, it's out in the lounge room. I know where it is. But I grabbed all these extra colors. So I grabbed a different green. Russell, 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 Russell. I've grabbed also the pear, which I just love this green so much. I got it in this, remember when I got the sample bag that, you know, from Australian Wool Store, when she sent me all those beautiful yarns, there was a pear in there and a different weight of yarn. So when I was buying all these colors, I was just like, I need this, but in the 8-ply. But because Anna and Carlos also do a lot of like other work, and this bag was to make Christmas baubles. This is all for Christmas baubles. Except now I'm making a stocking, so less Christmas baubles. But they also do stuff with this beautiful blue. So I grabbed a blue that matched their blue. And so this is Agapanthus. So I grabbed this one as well. And then because at the Australian Wool Store, when you buy 12 balls, you get the 13th for free. And it's an automatic thing. So you just add 13 colors and one of them is free. I also decided to grab just a straight up black just to add in, because sometimes, especially with the blue, it can look really amazing as the contrast. But I also, while I grabbed all green and all ruby red, when it came to the white, I couldn't decide if I wanted like the bright white or like a warmer white. So you can't see it. Let me just see if you can see here. Which one is this? The pearl and the winter snow. Okay. So can you see how they're a little different? I mean, I know the light's really blowing them out here, but I'll see if I can. There we go. One is a bit warmer. This is a bit warmer. This is a bit cooler, but they both work up gorgeously. So that's a problem, choosing, but then also making sure that I'm consistent with what I'm doing. So I'm doing stuff, all right? Now, when it comes to things like Anna and Carlos's, you know, little baubles and things like that, I definitely prefer working them in wool. And why do I prefer to work them in wool? The wool has more teeth. So it actually clings better. It holds better. I haven't blocked this guy yet. So, you know, this is one of the mini baubles. So in one of their years, they did like a range of mini baubles. This is a mini. Do I have any of the big ones? No, I haven't unpacked my box of Christmas craft for in here yet. So I don't have any of my big ones that I made a couple of years ago. But I'm going to make some fresh ones of those too, because there's like, you know, 50 or 60 different patterns. So I've only made like 4. I've got tons I can make. Each year there's 24, and I think there's 3 years worth plus the minis. I don't know. So I've got this one here. So he needs steaming and then filling, because that's the other thing. Theirs are all filled with stuffing, so they don't fill them with a bauble or a ball. So I think in Australia we definitely say more bauble than balls, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me just check the chat. I got a bit sidetracked. I'm sorry. Well, not sidetracked. I just got right into it real fast. Everyone's saying happy birthday to the December babies. So that is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Dolores was a December baby as well. Happy birthday, Dolores. That was so cool. Yeah, it was definitely meant to be, Kelly. It was definitely meant to be, because I am enjoying this so much. So each morning I get up and I download the thing, like the 6 rows for the day. I sit down, I do them, I post them. If you want to see my progression from like the start all the way through, I'm posting daily photos over on the Fibrific Discord in the WIPs area. So if you want to go and check that out there, I'm also trying to remember to keep my Ravelry post updated as well. So you can check in both places. But if you're not a member over on the Discord yet, you should totally join in. I'm going to be making a little series of quickie videos to pop over there to help you with your navigating and to help you have the best experience with your Discord. So that those of you that are not naturally used to being on Discord, or a little afraid or a little nervous about jumping into another platform, you can go through and watch these videos, and it can really help you to enjoy it a lot more. And the more of us that post over there and enjoy it, I actually just find it to be so much better organized than Facebook. Like, we're going to keep the Facebook group going at least for now, but there will be the possibility that I'll have to make a decision. So definitely think that joining the Discord is a good idea. So for now, both are going to happen. Both are going to happen. John O'Brien is in Team Robert Singer with balls. So let me just keep going. Leanne's asking who else is Christmas crafting tonight. I absolutely want to know that as well. Who else is Christmas crafting? Bring it on. Bring it on. Dolores is aiming. I'm trying to show the comment. Nope. Okay. Oh, okay. I understand what's happening. It's showing, but because that's annoying. There's a thing now with StreamYard where you can pop out the video, but it doesn't show on the pop out when the comments are up. So I have to bring it over anyway. Well, that defeats the purpose of what I was doing. Yeah. Pop you back. There we go. Alrighty. So Dolores says, I'm not working on any decorations, but I am aiming to finish 4 pairs of socks as gifts. Oh, that's a big ask. How many days till Christmas, everybody? There's not enough. Not enough. Gingerbread tartars? Absolutely. Hello. Big thank you to Abby. I couldn't find any of my Christmas shirts, and she was like, I know where yours, because I have a ton of like Star Trek and Doctor Who and like all different geeky themed Christmas shirts. And she was like, I know where your Doctor Who one is. And I was just like, really? So she actually just went into it, blink, there it is. So that was cool. That was cool. All right. Oh, the turtle was your last Christmas crafting make on the list. That is awesome. That is so awesome. I won't be working on the mosaic today. No. And I won't be doing dice rolls. We're having a break from the dice rolling for today. SMA Sky says, baubles I feel is more decorative than balls, but I don't keep up with the decoration terms that much. You know what, me either, honestly. But in Australia, we do usually say baubles. So like when you, let me just, yeah, look, the packaging actually says Christmas baubles. So yeah, you know, we definitely lean into the baubles here rather than the balls. Because, you know, we're all 8-year-old boys, so we all giggle when we say balls. Good morning, Mel. It's great to see you. Sally's here. Hello, Sally. You may need to go back earlier in the chat, but there was some birthday chats earlier. Bianca says, not Christmas crafting, working on a test knit and then just a linen stitch placemat for when I don't want to concentrate on that. That's great. I love having projects like that you can just do a bit mindlessly. I always need a mindless project. I always need a mindless project. Crochet Me Pink is finishing a baby gift set. That is great. John's working on his mosaic blanket. That is awesome. It's looking good. It's looking good. Leanne is in Team Bauble. That's all right. This is a hashtag balls. Technically, balls are just one type of bauble. They just happen to be the most common shape of them. Yeah. Yeah, because you have your little sort of more teardrop shapes, and true, that is true. So like all Christmas, no, I can't even work out how to say it. Like all Christmas balls are baubles, but not all baubles are balls. Ah, dear. Yeah. Then, yeah, we've got everything. I'm just gonna have a sip of my tea. I've gone the true beverage goblin today. So I have my Lady Grey tea in here. I have water in my water cup, and then in my Yeti, I've gone my T2 licorice fruit tea. So as the stream goes on and my throat gets a bit, you know, I'm gonna be able to, you know, fix it. Okay. So let's go down here. The table is a mess. The table is a legit mess because I'm like so excited and I just dumped everything in. I'm like, I don't even know which one I'm going to work on straight away. But I did want to talk about this one, but I'm not going to work on it. Anna and Carlos over on their YouTube channel, they're doing a video a day. They're dropping the links with this pattern. It is only free until the 24th. So once the final hint happens, anyone who wants it after that has to pay for it. So I would be going over there and grabbing the different links. For right now, you can get all of the different links so you can go and back them up. With how the graphs work, after the first one, you could probably get the first one and the last one and it'll show everything. but I would grab a few. I'm going to grab them all personally because I'm going to make each piece each day. It's going to be my treat to myself as I get ready for the chaos that is Christmas in the Hills household with all the people that say where they're coming from, you know, that they're going to come and then they don't come and then they're saying they're not going to come and then the day before they're like, "Oh yeah, we're coming. We're bringing 7 people." And I'm just like, okay. So, you know, I've got to balance the cooking out. So it's probably exactly the same issue that everybody else has when they host Christmas. But I think at this point in time, we have, let me think. So 3, 4, 5 plus another 4 is 9, 10. I think I have 10 confirmed. But there's another 7 that are a possibility and another 6 after that that are, they let you know like whenever. It's like grr. Um yeah, love a brainless project. Absolutely. Currently knitting a cheap Karen cake knockoff into a scarf for charity. That is cool. That is cool. Um Megan Hayden from Tassie. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. All right, so I'm going to pop this one aside because we're not actually going to be working on this one today. All these, we're not going to be making these baubles. All of these patterns are available over on the Arne and Carlos website. Just Google Arne and Carlos, A-R-N-E and Carlos, C-A-R-L-O-S. You can totally find them over there. So currently this guy is free. I'm not sure if they've got any, I don't think they've got any baubles free, but you get 24 for like $7 US. So it's basically free, right? Also, they always have really great tutorials, so you can go and check those out as well. Not that they need a plug from me because like seriously, anyway. I'm going to move these aside, even though I really, really, really want to work on them. Okay. Put you over there. Alrighty, so Sally, I need to say these scissors that I bought from you, I love to pieces. They're currently my favorite scissors, and now they're following me around the house. They did used to be just over on my craft chair in my living room, but now they've followed me into here. So these are the sharpest, littlest, gorgeous, like nasty unicorn scissors. And I love them. I love them a lot. Where are we? I don't know how to use those pointy things. Are you talking about knitting needles? Are you talking about knitting needles? Because that's okay. Because these guys are crocheted. These ones that I've got a whole tube and I want to do some more. So I found some tutorials for these, right? But they're all for like giant balls, like bigger than these, which these are the like one of the bigger ones that I can buy in a tube in Australia. Or they were using 4-ply wool, and I didn't want to use 4-ply. Okay, I wanted to use some of my I'm using some of the Dirty DK from Formerly Maker, so Source of Fiber, and I just wanted to use some of these, right? So I did struggle. I did struggle utilizing these, like the baubles that I could get with the patterns that were available with the yarn I wanted to use. So that is why I went back and just, I jimmied them a little bit. So we're going to work on those. And then also I was at the shops, right? And this one's not perfect. I just sort of threw it together this morning. I just need to spread that out a little. I was at the shops and they've got these balls available, right? Oops. As I said, I just threw it together. So it's probably going to fall apart. Which are basically yarn balls. And they were like $9. And I'm like, dude, I could make one of those. I swear it. Now I just grabbed some red acrylic that I happen to have, but if I had something that was, you know, some nice color changing Christmas yarn, that could work really nicely. You can either do it straight up as an all yarn ball, which obviously uses a lot more yarn because, well, not for this size. If I wanted to make one this size, that would be a very big bauble. So you could, that one's all yarn. So I'll show you how I did that one. And then this one's actually wrapped around a styrofoam ball. So these look great on the tree, just little pops of color in your tree. I'll just move John's comment away from here for a second. And so, you know, using up some scraps that you have, like especially for the little ones, I think that would look super cute. And if you want a bit more yarn in your tree, because who doesn't want more yarn in their tree? I've always, we've always been a single Christmas tree household. Abby has a little tree in her bedroom, and I have just this little fake tree that I like. It's a little like a little cone that's been wrapped in tinsel that I pop in the set for Christmas, which I can't find. It's in a crate somewhere. It's very safe, but can I find it? No. But I was actually thinking about like how nice it would be to have a tree where all of the decorations were handmade. Like still have our Christmas tree where because Abby's made a ton of decorations over her lifetime. They're all in the tree, but also so much of the glittery tinsel. Like so much glittery tinsel. So I would love a string of lights, just single color lights. This is the tree I would like to do, which I'm not doing yet, because A, we don't have space for a second tree, and B, I don't have a second tree. Actually, we do have a second tree. We've got our really big tree still in its boxes because we had to condense down to a little skinny tree. Maybe next year I can do some good reshuffling. I'm doing lots of house purging and getting rid of things. Maybe we could fit both trees next year. That would be pretty cool. And one of them we can have how I want it, which is all handmade by, decorations. And fairy lights, of course. But I don't have an idea for tinsel, like, because I love tinsel. Don't get me wrong. I think tinsel is amazing. But maybe just some of the fluffy yarn and wrap that around a little bit, or maybe do like the whirligig things. I don't know. I'd need some ideas for a tinsel replacement because I love tinsel and I love how it looks. But anyway, let's have a little look in the chat. Hey Samantha, it's good to see you. Let me see. Oh, Leanne says I did two for the first time last year. It's great. Oh, I love that. What a beautiful idea. So many good ideas for handmade decorations. Yeah, there's so much out there. And I didn't invent any of these. I need to get that clear. I didn't invent any of them. I've adapted a couple of them to suit what I can get my hands on in Australia. Obviously, our options are not great. Leanne saying popcorn and cranberry crochet garland. No, I don't put food on a tree. We live in Australia. It is summer and there are pests. So that's basically asking for trouble. I don't do the popcorn garland. I love the look of the popcorn garland. And I think as a kid, Mum tried to get us to make it. And then our tree got infested with cockroaches. So it was pretty gross. And we've never done it since. So yeah. Oh, Molly says, yes, different trees are a thing. I love a Swarovski crystal tree with only crystal baubles on it. I can post it in the fun zone. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Oh, it's a crocheted version, Leanne. It's not actual food. Oh, yes, I need a link for that. Absolutely. Crochet. Yes, yes, yes. I'm up for that. Send me the link, definitely. For sure. Crochet some. I was thinking crocheting spirals. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh, John knows the pattern. John knows what you're talking about, Leanne. Cool. Oh, I'm so keen to know about it. All right. So, today I want to show you the three things. Like, let me look at the time. Okay, we can do this. I want to show you the three things. So there's two versions of this. There's the stars in different weight yarn. So it's exactly the same pattern, but that's a 4-ply and that's the dirty DK, which is a worsted weight. And there's that. Oh, and I want to talk about the importance of choosing the right colors. So we'll do that first. We'll do that one first. Okay, so the importance of choosing the right colors in your color work. I did not think about it. I just grabbed some scrap yarns and I'm going to make this bauble, which I'm still going to fill. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to fill. But it's definitely going to be, you can't see the pattern. So what I did not do was I did not photograph the two colors next to each other and and check to make sure that the colors work together. So, you know, it still made a gorgeous bauble. I've got like a whole pile of bonbons of, what was it that Crochet O'Clock used to sell? The like the bamboo cotton blends and the eco fusion, and there was a particular nurturing fibers, I think it was. Um, so I've got a whole pile of these bonbons, and I thought, oh, I could use the bonbons to make some Christmas balls. I didn't consider the colors. So here we have really great contrast. So you can really see the patterns very clearly. Whereas here, not enough contrast. So when you're working colors together, you really need to make sure that the contrasts work. And I agree, the colors are gorgeous, which is why I went with it in the first place. But I had other options. I could have gone either a darker teal or a lighter or darker of this pinky beige. So it's very pretty. I do love it, and I will be using it. I'll be filling it. It's been blocked and steamed and dried. It's ready to be filled. And I will definitely be using it. But with all the work that went into this color work, not being able to see the pattern properly, like I know we're a bit glary here, but not being able to see the pattern properly is disappointing. So, and I'm like, maybe I just did the pattern badly, but no, I can definitely, like when I'm here, I can see there's little, it's little argyles, but it's very hard to see. Whereas this one, you can definitely see the little diamonds with the little things inside them. So when you're choosing your colors, just be aware, of contrast. And how I do that usually is grab the yarn, grab my phone, take a photo, and then look at the photo black and white. And if the two grays are too similar, they're not going to pop off each other properly. And if they're really different grays, then they'll work together. So yeah. You may see the pattern better once it's stuffed. We could probably stuff this. My stuffing's just here. So let me know. Do you want me to jump in and start making one of these, or do you want me to stuff this guy? So stuff it or make it. There, because that's done. So let me know. Well, I have a sip of my tea and check on the chat. Yeah, the red's a little blown out. Let me just see if I can do something about that. Image adjustments. Let's see if we can just pull the saturation back a dash. Sharpness. Don't want the sharpness too much, or it looks weird. But yeah, I think that's as good as I can do it without doing anything crazy. Okay. Stuff it. Stuff it. I want to see the results when it's stuffed. Exposure down a notch. I've got auto exposure set just because of how things happen here. Because if I turn off the auto exposure, it tends to be a bit of a buttocks. So let me just see if I can. So I can do that, which I think is a little dark, or that. We'll try that. We'll see how that goes. I'm happy to try it. All right, everyone's saying stop it. All right, let's get it done. Let me grab my stuffing. Hello, stuffing. All right. I'm a cheapskate, okay? I need to get this clear. I am a cheapskate. And I do not see the point in paying $15 or $16 Australian or whatever it is at Spotlight for the big bag of polyfill stuffing, okay? It is expensive. When I can buy a 2-pack of cheap, I want to say cheap ass pillows, brand new pillows full of human grade breathable stuffing for $4. So, you know, that's what I see. I didn't see Emma's comment. Hang on a second, let me scrub back. We could sew some beads onto it to bring the pattern out. That's actually an excellent point. That's a lot of beads to sew on, But you're right, we could totally do that. I don't know if I will, at least not right now. I think it's a fantastic idea as well. Um, but yeah, maybe not today. But anyway, so I've got a pillow here. I've also got a fan on, so I'm a little bit nervous. Just move these bubbles aside. All right. So I've got this, and I just cut open the pillow like on its seam, and the other pillow is all still closed up, so I can just work in one bag at a time. So that's what I do because I'm cheap. I used to be all like, oh no, the bags of polyfill has to be better quality, blah 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 blah. It's not. I have tested it and tested it. They're both have their pros and cons, but get in there. This one's very soft. Francis says, I'm joining from the beginnings. Francis, are you going to do the speed watch through, or are you going to just watch it at normal speed? Because that always cracks me up, because I do that. I'll jump into a live stream late. I'll check out where they're up to. Then I'll jump back to the start and then watch it at double speed. And watching some creators at double speed is hilarious. So much fun. Now, one thing I've noticed with Anna and Carlos is they don't overstuff their baubles. My first baubles I made, I stuffed them to nearly exploding. And I just thought, oh yeah, there we go, that's done. And they just never sort of really sat right or anything like that. So I've been watching a lot of their tutorials, and they really are cautious about not overstuffing the Christmas balls. So, but you've still got to get enough in there. Like that's not enough. That's not unless you want one of those little flat, the little flat balls, which some people like. I don't like the flat balls. I like, the full one. I definitely can see the advantage of the flat ones when you've got to, when you've got to like cricket names onto it and stuff. So therefore it's flat instead of curved. That'd be a lot easier. Yeah, there's some creators that you're just like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, there are the 11 billion pink stitches. There's still 11 billion of those pink. Sorry, I just had a message pop up. 11 billion pink beads. Even though I've put them on sale on the website for like ridiculously cheap, they're basically wholesale plus like 2% or something. This is like, and buy this bag of 50 grams and get it for ridiculously cheap. Nobody wants my pink beads. It's all right. I'll find uses for them. Maybe I will stitch pink beads all over the outside of these one year. You could make the unstuffed and put candy chocolates in them and hang them from a tree for a guest to pick. Yeah, for sure. You totally could. They might look a little meh, but that would also be fun. I like having little gifts for guests, especially surprise guests that you don't know are coming. I've got like a little box that I keep aside. I'm just thinking if that's enough. I might just, I'm like, no, I need more stuffing. Yeah, yeah, the flat balls. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably won't use all that stuffing I put on the table. Maybe I will. Alrighty, let me just break that off. Just that's a little tiny piece there. I'll poke that in. Let's see how this is looking here. Okay, I think that's about where I'm going to stop with the stuffing. As I said, I don't want to overstuff it. I don't want to stretch it. I just want it to be filled, if that makes sense. So let me just see if we can. Can we drop the exposure down just like a notch more? There we go. So you can see the stitches a little better. But yeah, as I said, the color work is not my strength, and double pointed needles is also not my strength. So you can see where the DPNs were. But, you know, I'm not going to get better at these things until I do it more. And because when you're actually making them, you actually already have the yarn all ready just to cinch up. You can just pull it very tight and it's done skiers. Now, oh, these ones are covering just inexpensive Christmas baubles. These ones are stuffed. So yeah. And the reality is you could stuff these as well, but I do think the stuffing would show through, which is why I like try to pick a Christmas color that matches those. So that goes like that. What I just quickly do before I go down this rabbit hole is I'll pull that back in the pillow. Here we go. The pillow is closed back up. We just seal it off. Now, Anna and Carlos, I originally just did my thing by just crocheting the chain as it was and didn't end this off or anything like that. But there's a reason they do it the way they do it. So I'm going to go in and just end this off how I want to end it off. Pull tight so it pops back in. There we go. Now a little crochet. Make a little crochet chain. I'm counting. And I can't trust any of you guys. If I count out loud, you'll all be all like counting. I think I made that tail a bit long. That's all right. I don't think I have a long enough piece of yarn left over. I'm just thinking, do I have the little thing? Hang on. Oh, falling down. I have the bag of all my bonbons, but did I have any leftovers and what did I do with them? I've got the leftovers in that. I must not have had any leftovers because, like, how nice is that green? Wouldn't that make an amazing bonbon? But they do recommend that whatever color is at the bottom here, that's the color that you do this in because it does show. But I must not have had any left. I would have had to have had some leftover. Maybe not. Well, I'm going to have to do the thing that they say not to do, okay? Because I need a longer tail than what I've got. Yeah, that's a good point. Anyone who has bought Good Loops can smell the video right now. Yes, it is all fragranced, and that's something I did struggle with a little bit, I'll be honest. Oh, where's my lid? I don't want to lose it. There it is. Okay, so yeah, because apparently, like, you do see the stitch at the bottom, but are we going to care? No. Oh, they would be adorable little Christmas decorations on their own because they've got their little labels. You could get a yarn through and just hang them from the tree like this, they would be. They'd be gorgeous. Absolutely. And then they do this thing where they actually drag both loops through the join. Okay. I'm beginning to think I probably did have enough of this one left. I'm going to try it with the blue. And just with the shorter. Because I want it to be perfect. Oops, made a really long tail. There we go. I could do something. No, I'm not going to do anything sneaky. Alrighty, I'm going to do a shorter chain loop. Bring both the tails through. Okay, then you do this. Obviously, to get a proper tutorial, go and watch Arn and Carlos. They know what they're doing. I'm just trying to work out which way was up. Oh, this way. I can tell by the way how badly I've stitched it. Of course. And then you've got to try and get it all the way through to the bottom with one of the strands tied in. And then you get the other strand tied in. And it's got to come through a slightly different spot. So that went through there. So that's going to go through there. And then that's going to sit here. And then you want to make sure it's not pulled tight so it doesn't come down like a little apple. You don't want it to do the whole apple thing. I mean, unless you want it to be an apple, but we don't want it to be an apple. And then you tie a knot, a double knot. And then you grab the ends again and you do some little sneaky weaving and poke it through and trim. And do the same with the other one. I'm sure they do it better. I'm sure they do, without a doubt. They do it better. So go and watch their tutorial. This is not a tutorial. This is just me doing stuff. And we have a stuffed Christmas ball. This one is, it's about second ruler, 6.5 to 7 centimeters tall. I worked out something else in this whole adventure that I've been doing, right? In Australia, we measure the height of our Christmas balls. Other places measure the circumference. So if you only have the height of the ball, guess what? Mathematics works. Multiply the height by 3.14 and you'll get the approximate circumference of your ball. So yeah, Is that right? I don't even know. I don't even know. Is that right? I don't know. I don't know. John says, I've Zoom meeting. Oh, have fun, John. Enjoy, enjoy. Or you could just convert it, I suppose. The height should be the same. It's a ball. My brain's gone into a realm now. But yeah, because like everywhere I was looking at, it was like these 8 centimeter balls. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. Because like these are 8 centimeter. These are 8 centimeter balls, and everyone it was like, oh, it's going to be 27 centimeters or 25 centimeters or something. And I'm like, I've only got these 8 centimeter ones. And then I realized. So yeah, when I multiplied the 8 centimeters by 3.14, it actually came out to be like 25 or something. Artsog says, I thought you were bad at maths, but you got it right. Thank you, Artsog. But yeah, so here we go. It's done. It looks adorable. It's red. We're going to put it on the shelf for now. There we go. Pride of place on the shelf. First Christmas ball of the year. But yeah, so I have this whole bag of these cute colors. I just need to be better at sorting out the contrasts. That's all. So you can go over there. I personally prefer more traditional Christmas colors, but I thought something pastel would be nice. Oh, Sally's 25 months of membership. It's so good. It's so good. Thank you so much for supporting me and the Fiberfic channel for so long. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you guys realize how much I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Like a lot. Alrighty. It is Macy's first. Yeah, it's Macy's first Christmas, and we've worked out she is a Christmas tree cat. So Abby has this little tiny tree that she's put in Macy's in Macy's bedroom, in Abby's bedroom next to Macy's gingerbread house. I made the mistake of sending Abby a TikTok of someone who'd made this really gorgeous like gingerbread house out of cardboard boxes for their cat. Well, that was it. Abby's out there with the hot glue, and it's cute. Hot glue, cardboard boxes, and a white marker. So rather than actually cutting out and gluing on all the tiles, which is what this person did, Abby's just drawn them on with like a whiteboard, like a white marker. Looks so cute. It looks really cute. Anyway, Abby put the Christmas tree next to Macy's window while Macy stands in her little house and plays with the baubles through the window. Louis also tries to just eat the decorations off the tree. So we worked out with Louis, while he will attack decorations, he is obsessed with Christmas presents and paper, because if Louis gets his hands on any paper, he is the puppy shredder. Like it will just turn into confetti all over the floor. And we have to keep the lid on the crate locked down for the Christmas wrapping and birthday wrapping crate that we've got, because Louis noses off the lid and just steals entire rolls of wrapping paper and turns it into shred. So last year we gated the entire Christmas tree around it, so he could not get to the presents. Whereas with Macy, she's just going to be able to jump over that gate. And our concern is that Macy will take out the gate. So Macy will take out the tree, and then Louis will take out the presents. So we're like, oh, Christmas is a battleground this year. It's an absolute battleground. To the point where Abby, who normally puts the tree up on the 1st of December, is like, nah, doing it on the 24th. Can't deal. Can't deal. Oh, she made that. She absolutely made that. Yeah. She's a legend. She really, really loved it. Yeah. Teamwork for the win. Yeah. I remember years and years ago, I had a cat and my housemate had a dog, and they would join forces. So the dog, we had a push pedal bin, and the dog would stand on the pedal, so the bin would flip open, and he couldn't get his nose in and hold the pedal at the same time. So he would stand there with his paws on the pedal while the cat jumped in the bin and pulled out stuff, and then they shared it. Also made an absolute mess. So we had to start putting phone books on the bin. I don't know what we'd do now. There's no phone books. But yes, okay. So next thing, should we watch? Let me know. Do you want to do a star, a Christmas ball, like a wrap ball, or a crochet ball? let me know. I want to make them all. So you let me know which one you want. I'm going to drink some tea. Mm. Let me look here. I do have everything to make all of the things. So it does. I think I do. I think I have everything to make all of the things. The crochet ball. The crochet balls. Let me have a look. Anyone else? Crochet. I vote the crochet ball. Okay, let's do a crochet ball. Okay. So with the crochet balls, it's really helpful to know what size ball you're covering. We only had like the small standard balls here. There's nothing knit here. Oh, there's no knit, Bianca. Sorry. But the same stuff applies to you. So you can do what I'm going to do, but knit it. Find some knitting circles and increase in the circle. So the patterns I could find for these sorts of things were either using 4-ply yarn, or they were using really what must be enormous baubles, honestly. Because I was following the pattern originally, and so this is the one that this is the pattern. Yeah, this is the one I was following the pattern on, and there's supposed to be like 2 whole other rows of like this sort of work before the joining section. So it was enormous. So I had to actually rip back heaps. And because I'd been following the instructions, like weaving in the ends as you change colors, like that was, don't do that. Do it at the end. Because if you've got to pull it back, it's so much harder. So that way you can, because you want it to be snug. Okay. So see how it's like, it's quite taut. You want it to be snug. Now, yeah, sure, you can make it so it's not quite so snug, for sure. But I personally like a nice snug fit, because that also means as the yarn ages, it's not going to end up baggy and sagging off the ball. This is just some different stitches that I used and a different join. And I will say, while this join is a lot more decorative and a lot more fun, and hanging on the tree, it'll look fantastic, taking photos was fun, because it won't sit properly, because it's got to sit either in front of or behind the join, whereas this one can just sit up straight. I got very frustrated and angry with it and put something behind it to poke it up. So, but what I've done here is Abby went shopping for me. Thank you, Abby. And picked me up a tube of silver Christmas balls. These are the 8-centimeter Christmas balls. So, 8 centimeters. What's that in inches? I don't know. 8 centimeters calculator. Where's the calculator? There it is. Clear. Clear. 8 centimeters divided 2.54. 3-inch baubles. Okay. So 3 inches tall, or hang on. What's the other one? 8 by 3.14, or 25 centimeter diameter. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't tried covering one of these ones that have got the patterns on it. So we'll see how that goes. I can't imagine there'd be much of a problem. It might just reflect the light a bit differently underneath. I vote. The look should give you when you try to take the candy cane. Yeah, Louis like that when you take the paper off him. He's like, but I'm helping. I'm helping. And it's like, you are not helping. Okay, so I've got 3 skeins of the Dirty DK in the colors that I've chosen for my theme here. So I've got the amphibian, the parrot, and I don't even know what they called the white. I don't know. The white is so glaringly bright. I'm just going to put the white to the side. So these two are these are going to all different places, so it doesn't matter, but I'm going to, I don't have one that starts with red, so I'm going to start with red. 4mm hook. There we go. And it's just, I definitely preferred this one. I followed the instructions, which was like the chain increase, and I found it to be a bit lumpy. See, it's got the lump on it. Didn't like the lump, so I went with the magic loop. Lot less lumpy. So I find that the magic loop works better for this. Again, this is technically not an instructional video. I'm assuming knowledge. Okay. So I'm assuming knowledge. So if you don't know how to do a magic loop, you need to go and look that up. But I'm just doing a 3-chain start on a magic loop, and then how many did I do? Did I do like 12? I should have written it down, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12. 12 is like my standard. Then 12 double crochets or trebles. And you can kind of really just do whatever you want. I do like to have the nice closed start. So on this one, I went in and did like some V stitches and some 3 togethers and then half double crochets and then joins. This one was just 2 together, like 2 in a hole, then 3 in a hole, then half double crochets. But I definitely found that on this size bauble, I only needed 3 rows of interest, like of big tall stitches, then a row of half height stitches. Okay. Now this is it's going to be different for all of us because it's going to depend on how you crochet and how tall your stitches get. You might need more because your baubles are bigger. You might need less because your baubles are smaller. You might be using a different weight of yarn, like whatever. And you can totally make this with scraps. Like you don't need much per row, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then pull it tight. And then come round and join with a slip stitch. And then end it off. Now, I like long tails. You know, I know not everybody likes long tails, but I like long tails. And you need 2 of each, okay? So I tend to do 2 of everything as I go. So that way when I'm happy with how something sits, the other one's ready to rock and roll and I can tie it on. And everyone, there's lots of different ways to do your magic loops. If you want to do a couple of chains and then work into the chains, you can totally do that. You just need to be able to make sure you can get a large number of stitches into it. So you can either do like a 4-chain ring or a 2-chain where you work into the second chain. Like there's tons of different options. You don't have to do what I'm doing because I'm not doing what the pattern said. So I am not the boss of anybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I am counting that first 3-chain as a treble, just as an FYI. Sally, what's Sally saying here? 28 watching and only 18 thumbs up. So, maybe they're not enjoying it. Maybe they don't want to thumbs it up. Maybe they hate it. Maybe Bianca is sad that I'm not knitting today. And so therefore she's refusing to thumbs up. I'm just kidding, Bianca. I'm not really. You need to thumbs up the video. Abby just scared the crap out of me. What? Oh, you got a Louis friend for cuddles? Did he go outside with you? He probably would like a little run outside. He is very cute. Well, that's why you keep him with you, Abby. Alrighty, so we have our 2 little middles. Red is done. So let me look. Should we go white or green next? Let me know. Which color next, white or green? I'm going to have a final sip of my tea. And then I'm going to let that cool down before I drink that. That's way too hot. It steamed up my glasses. Bianca says, I already thumbed up before I realized it would not be knitted. Oh, I'm sorry. The Anna and Carlos stuff is all knitted. Everything they have is knitted, but the little chain onto the bauble. The rest of it's colorwork knitting. So, this particular one is done in 2 pieces and then seamed. Yep, for sure. Jintamani says green. Anybody else Gonna go against Chintami? I don't recommend that. She'll take you out. No, she wouldn't. She'd be nice. Maybe. Maybe not if you go against the green. Okay. I do like the look of the two, so I'm just going to go and yeah, Bianca, all of the Yarn and Carlos stuff is all knitted. So this is all, these are all knit stitches. This is all knitted. And you just chain the loop. That's it. And you could use I-cord. You don't have to use a chained loop. You just need long tails on it. Chintami says I'll give you a scathing look. Yeah, no, their stuff is all knitted. It's gorgeous. You got to go and check it out. Okay. There is no purple. There's no purple. We are choosing between Christmas colors of red, green, and white. If I had silver, I'd be going silver. You know, other than the wool that I bought, I have not purchased any extra. I nearly told a massive furphy. Where is it? Green bag, greenness. I was about to say, I haven't bought any other Christmas colors, but I did buy this Christmas sock from Hobie. And it's very nice. I like it. I may have ordered extra Christmas sock. Did I? Hobie also have a sparkle Christmas sock if you're interested in a sparkle sock. And I also have a Halloween colorway from Hobie as well. During the Halloween sale, I grabbed that. So a friend of mine put it in order, and I got her to snavel me some extra sock yarn. And I may have just put in a whole other Hobie order this week. I'm just saying, keep your eye out for another Hobie haul. Different yarns this time. I got some linens and some different stuff. Francis says, I'm watching at normal speed. You sound angry at double speed. Okay. Cool. I'll remember that. I'll be like, I want to be angry, so I need to talk faster. Arrgh. Okay, so standing, double crochet into here, 2 into 1 spot. And I just go over the top of that one, and then I'll leave that for the rest for weaving in later. And just put 2 in each around, because we've got to try and get it big enough to go around the bauble. Thank you for putting the Hobie affiliate in. They've got some really cute Christmas yarns, honestly. And they're fairly fast. I would say fairly fast. I'm looking at the date and I'm like, oh, I don't know if you get it in time for Christmas now, but you know, next year you can order some Christmas yarns, or you can get some Christmas yarn in the Christmas yarn sale. I'm sure they'll have, which I haven't heard any promos for yet, but you know, they had the Halloween yarn sale, so. And you guys know how I feel about stitching over yarn. I do it here. I absolutely 100% do it here. I swear to God, there's something touching my leg. There is not anything touching my leg. It just felt like something was touching my leg under my table. I did not like that feeling. Yeah, but I will totally stitch over the yarn here because it's not going to be worn. You know, I don't want loose tails that'll poke through. So I will go back and weave it back in and then trim it right off. But I also don't think it's going to be worn off, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, as a blanket or something like that. There won't be a pile of movement. And then just double check you've got the right numbers before you join on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Yes. I always do a count. I never trust that the previous row was correct. And why do I never trust that the previous row was correct? Because I'm me. And quite often I've screwed it up somewhere along the lines. My counts are not trustworthy, so I will count and count and count again, because a number of times I've had to pull out entire projects because I screwed up a count somewhere and didn't do it right. Hi, Louie. Louis is sad that there is yarn laying across his bed. Hang on, I'll move it. So when I grabbed the pillows, I pulled my Purple Sierra down. Still need to find a project for this. There we go. Louis' bed is clear. If he comes back for a bed check, he'll be good. How's everybody going? Leanne says, so yes for green. I was adding the crochet baubles over on the Fibrific Fun Zone. Oh, thank you. Now, the inspiration for these I got from Crafternoon T's written instructions on her blog. So if you want to go and follow like really clear instructions for larger baubles, you're gonna like, I had to adapt it because it just wasn't working for me. I tried like so many times before I realized it's actually not me that's the problem. So you will need to adapt it, but that was where the inspiration for these came from, was from Crafternoon T's crochet baubles. She does 5 or 6 rows using DK yarn. As we know, this is technically not DK. This is technically a worsted weight yarn. So, you know, but I wanted to use this yarn. I didn't want to use anything else. Oh, what horrible yarn. Are you talking about the sock yarn? Yeah, it was dreadful. And like, it was just the worst. I had to save their website from it. Yeah. Oh, wait, did I catch 2 tails then or 1? Let me just go back and check. That seems, nope, I only caught 1 strand. There we go. Make sure you get both strands. Oh, the Purple Sierra. Oh, yes. No, that's also dreadful. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know why I bought it. It's gorgeous, right? I've started the Sierra project, but not in that one. I started it in the Nevada because I have 2 tubes of Nevada. Okay. Let me just do a quick count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Yes. Okay. Get all the little tails and things out of the ways. I'm just going to join it there. Scissors. Boop. Pull. Alrighty. Now we're onto the white. Now this is where I'm going to vary off the pattern. I really liked how this looked with the V stitching. So I'm going to do that. So I really do just join on like wherevs, but I try to join on sort of over here a little so that I can actually work over the tail a bit. So what I've done is I've actually, I didn't do it in the right spot because I wasn't thinking properly, but I want to go between the 2 stitches in the same. So not in there where you should go, but in between the actual posts of the stitches. So it looks like that. Is that what I did last time? Yes. Just double checking. Double checking. And just put the 2 stitches in between each. Oh, now I get why everyone was yes, because they're evil, and that's why I don't tell them when I'm counting, Francis, because they're just like me. I've never done that to anybody, counted the wrong numbers while they're trying to count. That's totally not something I would ever do. Yeah, it is. So, you know, I get my just desserts. You could try painting the bauble to get more contrast. You could, absolutely. Or you could just buy different colors. That's the other thing as well. If that's what you wanted. I particularly wanted silver baubles because for a particular purpose, for a gift. So I've got some leftover silvers that I'm playing with here. So you could use whatever color bauble you want. I just wanted silver because I wanted a bit of the silver to poke through. So when the Christmas lights hit this silver, it's going to reflect a little. It's going to be very cute. Or at least, you know, I hope. I hope it's going to be cute. That's the goal because we don't want to make shit gifts, right? We want to make cute gifts that people are like, oh my God, you made this? That's the response you want. Oh my God, you made this? It's like, yeah, I did. Yeah, cool. Glad you like it. Can you see how it's starting to curl around? That's okay. We actually want that to happen. That's actually the plan because if it stays flat, it ends up being way too big on the bauble. Oh, hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 20. Hang on a second. Did I screw something up there? No, it's all good. I think. Find out. So when you start measuring it onto the ball, you can see it's like, oh, it feels like there's still tons to go. But the next row will be these, and they're a lot longer, so they'll actually fill it quite a lot. So, yeah. A clear bauble with fairy lights inside with a crochet cover. Yeah, you'd need to make a cover that you could slip off and on, which I'm sure you could work out if you really wanted to do it. There's ways definitely to do that. I have some clear baubles coming, truth be told, because I've got some fillable ones coming. So, you know, I want to be able to put some cute little things inside the balls. But they're not here yet. They're supposed to be arriving today. Oops, I did the wrong thing. It's an automatic habit, isn't it? Just to go under the 2 strands rather than between the stitches. It's like between the stitches. Do the thing, the other thing that you don't do all that often. But yeah, like you are making something. You are only limited by your own imagination. You know, like you can make it however you want to make it. Another option would be grabbing like one of the fillable ones and then being able to pop in. Where are they? I don't know. Like the little battery tea lights. And have that flickering inside it. Just set it at the bottom, bit of blue tack or something, sit it in the bottom of it. That could look cute in your tree too. You just sort of, you really are only limited by your imagination and what can fit inside of a Christmas bauble. Where am I going next? In the. That's right. Yes. Just checking. I'm not screwing it up because it's like, oh yeah, I can totally make these in my sleep sitting on the couch. But the second I'm on camera, that would not be awesome. But like that's the thing. You can totally make the crochet sleeves. So like the ones that I've got a YouTube tutorial, it's really old on my channel, right? And you actually do make it as a total sleeve. It's like a little basket, and then you drop the bauble in it and cinch it up. You could just tie it in a little bow. And it's very chainy and gappy. So that could totally work because then all you have to do is uncinch it, pull it back, pull open the bauble, turn off your light or turn on your light and close it back up again. Like it's a little fiddly. I'm not going to lie, but it could totally work. The other thing is, how cute would those little tea lights just look like they were just floating around your tree in clear baubles? That would even just look cute as is without any crochet on it. I mean, heaven forbid we make something that's not got yarn on it, but it could totally happen. You could make a little bed of scraps and then put the thing on it if that's, you know, if it has to have yarn. But yeah, I mean, I wish the baubles were here and we could test it, but they're not here. I can't test it out. Been lurking, waiting for Jupiter to clear. Ah. Oh, yeah, it'd be really handy having fairy lights just for the ball walls, but they're remote controlled access and linked and can somehow be recharged or keep their charge for days on end. Like, yeah, that's the trick, right? Blip. LEDs don't get hot. Yeah, no, that's right. They don't. So you could totally put the little bits of yarn with them without a doubt. Alrighty, now I'm going to do the 3 trebles or double crochets as they're known in the USA to get some length happening here. And they're going to go, oops, come here. They're going to go between the V-stitch. Tails everywhere. All the tails, all the time. Oh, I need to 2. I want to do 3. Go back, fix it, go again. Technically speaking, as it was the first one, I could have gone all the way around and then added another one in on the other side. But that's not what I did. Yeah, have them voice activated. How nice would that be? They feel very Harry Potter. And imagine in that tree full of handmade decorations, especially if you had no lights, just having your little tea lights floating around. That would look so cool. Man, I so need to make myself my own little tree next year. Maybe we could put it in the studio. Maybe I can get I could fit the skinny tree here. The skinny tree could fit right there. You can't see the spot in this shot, but you'd be able to see it in the other shot. I don't know about clapping lights. I feel fine. The clapping lights can go off at inopportune times. But having them connected to like the G machine, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, wouldn't it? It'd be so cool, SMAs, wouldn't it? Have voice activated lights. I do have a set of lights. They're not very Christmassy, but they're like a Genio fairy light, and they're voice activated. Cardboard gingerbread house is such a great idea. I'm on a strict diet and was dreading making one with the kids. Oh, you could have so much fun with the cardboard. They could color it in. They could cut out and make lollies and glue them on. Like, I'm tempted to go and grab Abby's gingerbread house and show you guys it. It's a little rough and ready. I'm not going to lie. She made it quite quickly, but I think she did a really great job with it. I'm going to see if she's okay. Oh, I've got a shit bit. That's all munched up. How close? Like, and how close? I just needed to get to there. Let me just see if it's me, if it's a me problem. Did I pull on something or is it just the yarn is bad? It's just a munched up bit of yarn. I wouldn't be surprised if Macy's been in this ball. Ah, I can't use it. Can I? No, it's going to bug me. I pull back, trim it out. Add in the next yarn. What's an extra tail, right? I can probably get an extra stitch in. and join it on. Alrighty, look at all the tails we're gonna have to weave in, and they do have to be woven in. Let me just double check that that's how we want it. 3 stitches in each. Yes, 3 stitches in each. We'll see how that's sitting. So it's starting to sit better. So then we have that, and it stretches. So I stretch it on a little, but I'm going to do another row of half double crochets in the green. Oh, we're gonna have another green join. That's kind of hilarious. That was unintentional, but let's do it that way. Green, white, red, green. White, green, red, white, green. Red, green, white, red. That is kind of funny. Wow. Well, see, that's the thing. If you don't weave them in, they're going to block the silver view, or they could actually poke through and look pretty ordinary. I don't do like a super duper weave in job. Like it's not like I'm trying to hold a garment together, but I definitely weave them around a little and trim them off. And I do give this bit a good weave right here in the middle. But yeah, let's do the second red. Hey, Abby. I just heard her in the kitchen. I wonder if she would let us have a little look at her gingerbread house. In between the stitches, Chantel. But whatever decorative stitch you want to do, like I've seen some really pretty ones that are like 100% closed in, where they've done like ripply edge stitches and there's like tons of texture and a pile of different colors, like the beautiful, like I'm never been a fan of like the pinks and the blues for Christmas, but the pastels that someone, I think it might have been Crafternoon Tea, that she did her original one in, just looks so cute. Like you're only limited by your imagination, the yarn in your cupboard, and having the correct hook size for the yarn. And you can just do whatever stitches. You do want it to cup though. So see how it's starting to cup? You need it to cup. If it stays flat, it's not going to stitch on properly. And you can sew them together if you want. Because you do sort of sew them together halfway before you start putting the ball in, I found that once I put the ball in, the stitches didn't sit as neatly when I was sewing up against the ball. But I found that for me, crocheting them together was better. I got a more even stitch between, like when I started, like when, where the different places that I did it. Knitspin Girl's got Squishmallow. Nice. That's so cool. Alrighty. And we are there. And then join. With a slip stitch. Bloop. Oops, I just pulled through. All right, then it's hard to visualize with all the tails in the way, but I don't want to weave in the tails till I'm 100% certain I'm happy, because otherwise it's a real pain trying to undo it and resize rounds and so basically that's where we're at right now. That's a little unstretched. So stretching them will definitely bring it in a bit more. But I'm thinking I actually think this shaping is is making it a little half double. Yeah, I reckon the half doubles will still be enough. But if you're worried, you could always do trebles instead of half doubles, or you could do a couple of rows of single crochets. Maybe that's what I could do. A row of single crochet in the green, and then do another row of single crochet in the white, and then the join with the white, so that I have a different colored join. So yeah, we could totally do that. What do you think? Should we do just do the half double, which is what I've done for both of these, and it would end up being in green again, or should we do a single crochet row in the white on both in the green on both sides, and then another single crochet in the white, and then the white does the join? Let me know in the chat while I have some beverage, It's very hot. I might take the lid off for just a minute. Yeah, I think the green and the white too, because otherwise they're all going to have green joins, which has been unintentional, but has been green joins. Also, can show you guys how different you can tweak it and change it depending on what you want. There we go. Move them in there. Where is the red joined on? There it is. Oops, what am I doing? I don't need to yarn over because it's a single crochet. I might go here. I might yarn over for this one. There we go. I'm not very good at standing single crochets. Can you tell? It's not something I do very often. There we go. All right, we're moving. We're moving. Oh, what am I doing? It needs to be the green. Green and then white. Green and then white. Try again. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let me have a look here in the chat. Are any of you working on projects, or are you thinking you might add some of these projects to your Christmas list? Let me know in the chat. That way because I'm thinking more next week, but we'll see. If you guys aren't happy with this, then we can adjust it. But I'm really enjoying getting into the Christmas spirit a little bit. Next week, there'll be a few more decorations behind me for the Christmassy stuff. Yes, Bianca. If you are local, if you are in the Brisbane-ish region, Brisbane, Gold Coast, whatever, we are meeting at IKEA at Logan's from 6 p.m. for our Caffeinated Crafters group. So feel free to come and join in and hang out. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner, but I'll find something. And then join with a slip stitch. Let's see how that looks on the ball. Get in their tails. I think that's the other thing as well. The tails are kind of filling the cup a little. Oh yeah, that sits nicely. Look at that. That's the center seam line there. Oh, is it? Hang on. No, there it is there. That's your center seam line. There's a seam line because these are made in 2 pieces. So there's a seam line running down there. So let me find that. There we go. All right. So yeah, I reckon it'll be good. Let us get the green onto this guy. Well, we're going for time. We're good. We're doing good. Where's the red joined on? There he is. One, two, three. One. Get out of the way, green tail. Oops, what have I done there? Hinky, hinky, stinky. Did I do that in the other one as well? Let me look. Oh, I did. It doesn't matter. You can just make sure your stitches are even is really the big thing. But the reality is it's going to be pulled and stretched a little bit. So you probably won't notice it too much, and you can always spin it to the bottom or push it to the top or whatever if you're not happy. All right. Nearly all the way around. And then snip that off. And now we join the white on. We do another row of single crochet. On the first one, we do it just like normal. On the second one, don't cut the tail. You enjoy putting a puzzle together. It's going so slowly. Okay. Artog says, I too enjoy getting into the Christmas spirit. Yeah. It's hard in the heat. Like, you know, we look at, you know, what they've got in the countries where it cools right down and they can make it really cozy and really homey but like it is hot here. Like there's a massive heat wave about to hit like a pile of states in Australia where it's supposedly hitting like 40-degree temperatures plus, and then there's a cyclone off Cairns which is like 1,500 kilometers away from me. 15, it could be more. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's still in my state. And there's and the cyclone's currently a Cat 3, but it's looking like it's going to turn into a Category 5, which could be total devastation. So yeah, it's craziness. But that's kind of like par for the course. Welcome to Christmas in Australia. You know, like don't make a hot meal because you'll melt and die. Oh, that's right. That's the other thing. You know, it's not getting dark until later. Like in the southern states that have daylight savings, they miss out on their Christmas lights for an extra hour. We have our Christmas. What am I doing here? I'm doing the wrong thing. You know, like so it's not getting dark till late. So if you want to take your kids out to look at Christmas lights, they're up until 9 or 10 o'clock, just so that you can wait until it's dark enough to see them. And like, yeah, it's different. It's different having Christmas where it's hot and that summer. It's not necessarily bad, it's just different. So I'm just going in the gap between the green. a second. That's what I want. I want that green in there. Okay. So yeah, so it it is different. It's so we prepare a different meal. We have our meals at a different time. It's very different. Um it's very different than the warm and making it cozy. And that's not to say you guys don't end up with like blizzards and snowstorms and other things that would make a cold Christmas less palatable. Uh, yeah, it wouldn't be Christmas if something was not burning or freezing or melting. I mean, that's kind of true, right? Like I hear of horror stories from the snow where things have collapsed under the weight of the snow, and you can't quite go as crazy with your outdoor lights as we can because we don't have to allow for snow on top of the lights. And that's just Melbourne. Oh my gosh. Leanne says we have hired a freestanding industrial air conditioner for our entertaining area, which is an enclosed double garage separate from the house. Yeah. Like just so that your family and you can all cope with being in the same room together for the heat. That's actually one of the reasons why my family come here for Christmas. No one else's houses are air conditioned. So everyone can sit and enjoy the food and relax and just hang out without having to deal with the fact that you're trying to eat and it's 40 degrees outside. Alrighty. Snip. Helps when you go to snip the yarns between the snippers. Let's have a look here. Poke in, poke, poke, poke. Oh, it's a little bigger. Probably won't get as much stretch, which is not a bad thing. Just have to think about what joint I want to do. Because it is a little deeper. That's okay. Let's try it. That's why we leave the ends on. Oh, that's a bit of a long tail there, Shani. There we go. Yarn down. Hold the yarn. There we go. We got this. We got this. Alrighty. And away we go over the green tail. Shannon's enjoying the rain. Yeah. Game Winner says we have Christmas outside under a gazebo with fans. Aircon doesn't cope with all the people and the cooking. I don't tend to do much cooking on Christmas Day for that exact reason. Up until about 3 or 4 years ago, I want to say we did no cooking Christmas Day. We did all the cooking leading up to Christmas. So Christmas Eve, I spent in the kitchen, cooking up, like the roasts and the chicken and like all the things that needed cooking got cooked the day before, because we would do the meat as cold meat with salads and have a few different salad options, and we'd have like lots of dessert options, but again, everything was cold. And then we've started adding in a friend of mine who is a chef shared his pork belly recipe with me, and I am obsessed with it. And I only make pork belly at Christmas because it's so bad for you. Um, and so I'll make up like 3 or 4 pork bellies and I'll cook those up on Christmas Day. And then maybe depending on, if we really want it, I'll do up a little tray of veg as well. But otherwise, it's pork belly with salad, but lots of different salads. And it's not just green salad. I do a big vat. It's a vat of a potato and egg salad. So the pork belly with the potato and the egg is really nice. Yeah, so that's how we tend to do it here. Last year we had a few extras, and so I also in my slow cooker did some beef. I did a topside beef. So basically, it's like a big chunk, a chunk of cow. Throw that I actually did it in the pressure cooker. So toss that in, tin of cream of chicken soup because I usually use cream of mushroom, but my daughter would not have eaten it. So cream of chicken soup and a sachet of French onion soup mix. Stir, stir, stir. Crack on the lid. Cook it for half an hour under pressure. It came out and it was just unbelievable. It was just so good. But you could slow cook that. You could legit slow cook it if you wanted. And then all the gravy that comes out with it, like all the soup mixes with the juice of the meat and everything. Oh, so good. It's so delicious and quite easy and not too much heat. But I mean, admittedly, then you've got to pull it out and slice it up and, prep it. All right, let's have a look. I cut the tail. I didn't even think. Cut the tail. I'm an idiot. Oh my God. Oh yeah, look, that should be all right. That should be all right. Because that's the thing, you want a little gap. Otherwise, it's not going to pull in when you crochet join it. All right, let's weave in some ends. What are we looking at for time-wise? We're doing okay. We're doing okay. So some of these ends, so I do flip it out the other way. Some ends will weave in faster than others because they're already half done. So they just, because as I said, I don't do like a proper, like, it's not like I'm trying to keep a garment together. So it's just basically to keep the tails out of the way. But I do this middle piece properly because if that gets loose, it kind of looks crap. There we go. And that's it. Like, as I said, it's not, but trim all the tails back closely. Next, that was the red. Just weave that back under. I don't know if I crocheted over the red much. Oops. Trashed. Try again. Trim. See how like there's just that little tail there? It tucks back into the group. So that's kind of the goal, is to have them tuck in between the stitches so it's less chance of it poking through. I mean, the reality is all you got to do is grab it and trim it back again or poke it and shove it with a little hook or something and until you're happy. But you also want to make sure that you're not pulling on the stitches too tight, just like when you're doing a normal weave in. You do want the stitches to be flat and even yeah, pork belly, absolutely. We'll do up 3 because my husband has worked out that he doesn't mind if it's reheated in the microwave. So we do tend to cook up, like serve up 2.5 at Christmas and put half a pork belly away. And then the next day we'll have pork belly that we wrap it up with a bit of paper towel, pop it in the microwave. You can hear it crackling again. So, and that's kind of why we make it at Christmas now, because we did it the once and my husband was he doesn't really have any Christmas requests. He's pretty cruisy with the whole thing. But once he had that pork belly the first time, it became a thing. Like, so if every now and again he'll ask for pork belly on his birthday, which is March, but not every birthday, but every now and again he'll request pork belly and I'll do it because he doesn't usually, really dig in for the Christmas foods. There are some things that he doesn't like it when I change the menu because he's quite happy with the menu. So when if he thinks I'm going to change it, he gets quite defensive of the Christmas menu because he looks forward to it. So I've learned that even when there's less people coming, don't drop out desserts, make smaller treat desserts, and like White Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So don't just go, okay, we don't have enough people, I'm not going to bother making this thing. No, 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 no. That's not the approved plan. The approved plan involves smaller batches. So still need to make all the things, but just smaller batches. It's like, okay, all right, I think I can do that with some things. Some things I don't know how to make smaller batches, like potato salad. Man, that's 2 kilos of potatoes and a dozen eggs minimum, right? That's the small batch. So, that's 4 pounds of potatoes. Oh yeah, no green jelly in trifle. Green jelly doesn't belong in trifle, and neither do freaking jam rolls. Um, you know, that's not trifle. That's something else. It's still a festive dessert. It's not a trifle. A trifle is sponge soaked in booze with peaches and red or orange jelly that's not orange flavored but orange in color and flavored something else. You know, that's a me thing though. I don't think Tim would care, but I care about that one. I'm just like, dude, that's not right. That's not Christmas. Hubby and kiddo are working Boxing Day, so leftovers will be shared out amongst my family and in-laws. Yeah, we've done that before where we've had one particular Christmas I was expecting another 10 people, so I catered for that 10 people, and then on the day they never showed up. So the family that were here, I was just like, okay, who wants to take home dinner? Because we have Christmas lunch. So if they don't, because like sometimes everyone will stay and we'll just pull out all the leftovers out and have dinner all together as a group and just have them on the table and everybody picks and then we put it back away again. And then the leftovers after that get divvied up, except for the pork belly. The pork belly stays hidden. So Tim can have the pork belly later. And considering Tim pretty well pays for Christmas lunch for the entire family every year, I think him requesting some pork belly to be kept aside, it's not a big ask. Christmas lunch can work out to be quite expensive for 30 people, especially with grocery prices and stuff like that. But he doesn't make an issue of it. He just accepts that that's the price for the ingredients to make this kind of food, and it's a Christmas gift sort of in its own self. Alrighty. Oh, come on, little tails. Don't be mean. That green one got stitched all the way through. I'm not going to worry about that one at all. That's the start, and then that and that white did not get stitched all the way through. Okay. We have warm lunch and cold dinner, which is why I made chutney yesterday, essential for leftover sandwiches. Yeah, definitely it is. We have hot lunch, cold dinner. So, yeah. But we still make, like, there's all lots of cold meats there. Like, there's still marinated chicken drumsticks that I cook the day before. So they're either tandoori chicken or mango chicken marinated, or both, depending on how many people are coming. Then there is ham. We have a little bit of ham. None of us are big ham eaters, so we just get a little piece of ham. So we have a little bit of ham. We have, let me think, we have the pork belly, we have the ham, we have chicken drumsticks. Sometimes my sister-in-law brings like a turkey breast that she's baked up and sliced up. But yeah, like just little bits and pieces of different things. Oh yes, we do guard the chicken drumsticks from my brothers. So who here has heard the chicken drumstick story? Do I need to repeat the chicken drumstick story? I will repeat it if it needs to be done, but if everyone's heard it, I won't worry about it. How are we going here? It's a great story. It is a good story. It is a good story. Oh, oh, Bianca's not heard it. Probably not. Probably not. All right. Well, I'll tell it for Bianca. Bianca, many years ago, when I was still single, I was living out of home, and Christmas was at my mum's house. But it was my job to bring the marinated chicken drumsticks because these are traditions we've had for a long time with my family. So don't change the food that's been around for 20 years or 30 years. So my job is some of the desserts, the chicken drumsticks, and the potato salad. So you probably heard that if I don't make potato salad, to not bother turning up to family events. That's true. That is a true thing. I've actually been sent a 2-hour drive back home because I left something in the fridge and I had to go back and get it because they couldn't not have it. So this particular year, my dad and my brothers were staying at my house because my mum's only got a little house and cousins and stuff were staying with my mum. So my dad and my brothers were staying at my house. And I'd had a very long day of cooking and I was very tired and I went to bed. And I woke up Christmas morning to find that I think it was 3 plates, mounded high. Each plate had over a dozen chicken drumsticks on it. Mounded high plates that were all wrapped and in the fridge, ready to go to mum's. All 3 plates were on the bench, piles of bones. The boys had gotten hungry overnight and decided, and they had decided that eating the chicken drumsticks was the best option. And I lost my mind, according to my dad. You went a little bit psycho. You scared us. Because that meant that over 30 drumsticks, I think there was closer to 40 drumsticks, had been consumed by 3 grown men who all should have known better. You know what? Sneak 1 each. Take 1 each. Take 2. A plate each. It's not like I hadn't fed them dinner. They were fed, but they were hungry and they ate all the chicken drumsticks. So I've lost my mind to the point where my dad, who's not really afraid of anything, jumped in his car and went hunting on Christmas morning for somewhere that sold chicken. And I was so angry. I'm like, don't you come back without it. Seriously. And take the boys with you. But he didn't. He went by himself. He left the boys with me and they were like, oh, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? And I'm just like seething. I'm so angry. And I've like had to ring my mum and tell her what's going on. And she's freaking out because, like with the number of people we had coming, there was a goodly portion of the protein of our Christmas dinner. And my dad had found some place. I don't even know. I think he had to travel quite a ways. And this is back before you could just ring around like on his mobile because he didn't have a mobile. He had to go physically to all of these shops and check if they were open. And he waited at this one store because they were like, look, we've got some rotisserie chickens coming out, but they'll be like, some time. And Dad brought home this bag of like 5 or 7 barbecue chickens that we then had to pull apart. But yeah, I lost it. I lost my cool. I was not a happy camper. The boys now all know to check. Like even my dad still like this was in 1996, 97, 98 around there. No, yeah, probably 98. So this is over 20 years ago and my dad still goes, "Oh, um is it all right? Like, what can we nibble on?" And I always make something for nibbling. I always do because you can't just look at a fridge full of amazing food and be told no, you can have none of that. I always make extra stuff for nibbling. So now they check. Now they ask. They don't just hoe in. So yeah, 20 years on, three grown ass men still afraid of like because they're all over 6 foot as well. Like my brothers are all taller than me. Um, and that like do not upset Chantel with the Christmas lunch. Like they've learnt. So yeah, they learnt. Oh man, we're going to run a little over. If everyone's okay, I'd really love to stitch this together with you, but the weaving in the ends took a bit longer than I anticipated. I'm happy to keep going until this is all done. Let me know in the chat if you need to go or if you're happy for me to keep going or if you just want me to end the stream at normal time. I can do that as well and just weave this in myself and post finished photos. So let me know what you want me to do because there's still a little bit of weaving in to do here before we can start joining the two halves. But I'm happy to keep going. Kept on. Oh, it was definitely memorable. Definitely memorable. They've learnt. Don't mess with Chantel when it comes to Christmas lunch. She's small, but she's mighty. Also, anyone who's in a psychopathic rage is terrifying. It doesn't matter how big or small they are. I probably didn't handle it the best, looking back on it. But I was also exhausted. Oh, happy to keep going. Okay. No, that's right, Sal. And I can keep an eye on as well. I can keep an eye on too. I definitely, want to respect your time, all of you. But we're so close to finishing. Let's have a look. Little white tail there. Be good, Sal. Have an awesome day. But yes, we have a lot of fun stories at Christmas. Lots of fun stories. Because it's quite often the only time where all of us get together, like mum, dad, all my brothers, like because we have this rule, like even if everyone's bickering, like even if there's issues or whatever, everyone knows all that gets left at the gate, and everyone is welcome. But their issues are not, and for the most part, everyone's been really good about it for like forever. And so we don't get too much Christmas drama as such. That's caused by, long-term family drama or anything like that. So that's always nice too. Knowing that even if everyone's not on the best of terms for whatever reason, because, humans, that everyone's still welcome at Christmas, no matter whose house it's at. So I love that. I do love that. And I know that is a rare thing. Not everybody gets to have that. So yeah, we're very lucky that way. I just had my brother and our annual bickering over the plum pudding Christmas Eve and fall for flames from the barbecue. Thanks to my brother. Yeah, that's different. That's standard Christmas bickering. We have the bickering over who drank the last of the favorite drink and stuff like that. But it's not none of the family feuding is allowed. We don't have too much of the family feuding, but we do have a little. We're a passionate bunch, so there's bound to be a little family feuding. Alrighty, we are nearly here. I cannot believe I cut that white tail like an idiot. Abs, I'm running the stream a bit longer today, just so you know. Just because I want to finish this, and I'm nearly done. I know I should have been quicker. Good point. Then in we go. Boop, boop, boop. This end one I will make sure is pretty solid. Just because I'm paranoid now, because normally I wouldn't have cut it off at all. Okay, that's it. Ready for the joining. Now I have to. There we go. It says at center seam. And stretch it on. That should work. Yes. Alrighty. So, because I don't normally cut the tail is the problem, and I'm a bit nervous about it. So I might actually. It's like I really want to just tie it on, because it has to hold a lot of, stuff. So for the first part of it, I just hold them together, right? I just hold it together for like the first half. So you've got to decide what kind of join you want to do. I think this time we'll just do. Okay, we'll do a flat join. We'll do more like what we did here. All right. So I just had to think about it for a second about what kind of join do I want to do. So it's actually just, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but I just grab that loop from that one and that loop from that one, and then do a slip stitch through it. But oh, I need to tie this yarn off. Okay, so that loop from that one, and that loop from that one, and then slip stitch it. So that, and slip stitch. So it's like any kind of think about the kinds of joins that you like. If you've got a bit more space and you don't want them to be pulled so tightly together, you had a wider gap, you can do like one of those crisscross joins and make it really decorative as well. I just wanted something a bit flatter this time. And that's the other reason why I do try to keep an eye on the counts as well, because that way these match up. You don't end up with like slightly different numbers of stitches. So, and you can also sew them together if you want to as well. You can mattress stitch them if that's what you want to do. It's not really my strength. Like I did really well with mine up until I had to start working on it when the ball was inside of it. So once I had to do that, the stitches weren't so even, and trying to pull them tight, I'd pull them too tight and then they wouldn't be straight and flat. But yeah, I found that this flat sort of like this one here came out really nicely. Oh, it's been 8 months since your brother set his beard on fire, so that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Next section, how far? I try to do it like at least halfway this way. It's just easier to do it without the bauble in there. Or at least I find it to be easier without the bauble. Did I split that one? I did. There we go. Yeah. I mean, maybe some context, Gamer Widows. Some context about what your brother does for a living. Because, like, you know, it's not a big issue for most people. Uh, I think it's just about time to put the bauble in. Oh, what did I do there? Try again. That one and that one, and then slip stitch. All right, let's get the ball, poke it in. And what I tend to do is slide this piece around to where the join originally was. And now we're going to work up and close this piece up. Okay, so that's our goal here. And you can see how the second I pulled it on, it just evened everything straight out. Like, just add some shadow there. There we go. So you can see the stitches a bit better. All right. Nearly done. And I tend to just hold it a bit together if I can. Like, there's an extra hand would be really nice about now. So we want to go through the back loops. And I kind of slide my hook along the ball as well, just to really try and help keep it even and smooth. But sometimes you just need that extra hand, right? Come on, little splitty yarn. Nearly there. I probably could have done a few more stitches before I put the ball in, but I find that sort of halfway to 3/4-ish does the job. Tell you what, it's easier to slide the ball on a perfectly round ball than this one with a little bit of interest. Oh, sorry, I'll put my hands a bit where you can see them. I see you, Louie dog, sneaking in, checking the bed. I see I cleared it for you. Oh, he's on it. He's like, thank you for clearing my bed. I shall now use my bed. Oops. There we go. That's where the join was. So that might be a bit trickier to get into. I can't see anywhere. I'm just going to skip it. No one's going to know. They're going to know. They're not going to know. No one's going to know. Keep the tails out of the way. And a second one into that one where I skipped the one before it to even it back out again. Right up around the top, sorry. Okay, so that's where I sort of stop crocheting, cut off a tail, but then I add a needle and I stitch it down because I don't want this coming undone. Unlike some of you who plan on undoing them and redoing them and undoing them, I do not. This guy's never coming out of here. He is trapped forever. But what I will do is I'll go through it and then also stitch around with the needle and just poke it through there. Make sure that's settled down. And then I'll just sort of scoop under this side and come out over here. I probably didn't need to do that because I've got to weave in a second tail that I wouldn't normally have to weave in. There we go. And then I just sort of weave it under the join a little bit just to pull it in. And then that's done. And then because we do have a second tail, which if you're smart, you wouldn't have had a second tail. Just I'll just bring that around this other side just so that there's no bulk on the first side. And again, weave that under the join. Try and keep it flat. Don't pull it too tight. You don't want to mess up your lines that you've worked so hard to create. Come out. There we go. Trimmy, trim, trim. There's a pile of ends and a bauble. Done. So you see how you can, there's little glints of the silver that'll sparkle when it's on a tree. I really like this white seam. I'll just create some shade. Nice, Abby, still on camera. Yep. So there we go, all done. So now we have 3. Which I'm really happy with. So you can totally find the proper like original pattern over on Crafternoon Tea's blog. I made some changes just to fit it onto the baubles that I've got. I also found crocheting it together was a lot easier than sewing it together. So, and this one was just a little bit of, you know, the braided join where you grab the stitches from one side, then grab them from the other. That's all I did here was slip stitched it over here, then slip stitched it over there, rather than here I grabbed a loop from each side, then slip stitched it. So that's the only difference between the 2 joins, was just how I did it. So they are ready. So that's super cute and super cool. And I do love the little hints of silver that just sparkle through on the bauble. So very happy with how that's done. Going to put my needle in here so I do not lose it. I've only got so many chibis, can't afford to lose them. So, massive thank you to everybody who stuck around while I made all of the whole bauble, the whole thing. I'm so happy that this is done and it looks adorable. It looks so cute. So, hang on, I get it across my face and then the camera will do what the camera needs to do. So yeah, it looks super cute. Very happy with how that come out. I love the pillow stuffing. I really do. Um, I honestly used to think that the stuffing that you bought as polyfill had to have been better quality. I'm finding that the pillow stuffing is lovely to work with. It's super soft. I mean, it's meant to be a pillow for your head, and being able to pick up a 2 pack of pillows for $4, like seriously, I don't think I'll buy polyfill ever again, honestly, like as a proper polyfill, not unless I hear of a specific reason. But yeah, so in today's stream we finished off this bauble which had been all knitted and steamed and dried. But it needed stuffing and it needed its little dangly maid, so got that done. Plus we also finished off, well, we made this one from start to finish. So yeah, and we had a little talk about little yarn balls that you don't have to pay ridiculous supermarket money for. um but yeah, such a great great live stream. And I'm so glad that you guys let me embrace Christmas because I love Christmas so much. And each of the streams are going to get slightly more Christmassy, as in how it looks, as time goes on, as we get closer and closer to Christmas. So things will be slowly appearing in the backgrounds. The stuffing's totally washable. It's a pillow. Like, so it's whatever the pillow can do. These are just the Anko, so from Kmart. 2 pillows in a bag, $4. It's recycled polyester filling. Cold hand wash, do not bleach, dry flat, do not tumble dry, do not iron, do not dry clean, dry thoroughly before reuse or storage, not intended for repeated washing. So, like a normal pillow, like, you can wash your pillows, but you shouldn't wash them like every week. But yeah, normally things I stuff with stuffing, I don't I don't wash a lot. Like I'm never going to wash this unless something dramatic happens to it. So yeah, do not pass go, do not collect $200. It felt a bit like that, didn't it? I'm so happy. Like I was a little bit like I have to confess I was a little disappointed with how this turned out because it was like, oh, I worked so hard and it was so much fun. And then you can just barely see the patterning. But next one I'll do in the bonbon colors. I'll choose better contrasts. I will take photos and I'll do it properly. But I love how the actual cotton holds the filling and it feels amazing, honestly. Like it's so squishy. Bianca says I was thinking cushions. You could totally fill cushions with it. I mean, it's for pillows. But again, cushions don't get washed and washed and washed and washed. But yeah, it's a pillow. But if you have a look at the instructions on your, polyfill, I think it's the same. I think it's the same instructions. But anyway, it's so great having all of you here. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you all next week. Bye now.